inspector. And this morning we're chatting about the Islandwide Cleanup campaign continues. Good morning to you, sir. Good morning.
Good morning, Julian. It's a pleasure to be here.
All right, excellent. As we begin the conversation this morning, public health inspector. When we hear that sense of responsibility, give us a sense of what's the responsibility vested with the public health inspector. Just a brief on that.
All right. Well, of course, we engage in particular activities in relating to health in general and the public. A lot of the things we do, people may not be aware, but think of public health as the feet. You can't stand if you don't have them. And so all those environmental things we're talking about, we look at that in terms of vector control, food safety, environmental sanitation and hygiene, building development, public nuisances and those kinds of things. So public health is very broad. As a matter of fact, it encompasses every aspect of life from the cradle to the grave. So we are responsible for public buildings and also even cemeteries.
All right. So this morning we're going in more specifically to chat on the Islandwide Cleanup campaign 2022. Give us a sense the period over which this is being executed, when it started, and approximately how long is it expected to run?
All right, so it started last Monday, so it runs for a period of about 10 days. And we've been taking up what we call white waste as part of what we call the integrated vector management program, because we have a lot of areas that can be harborage for what we call pests. We're talking about rodents, hold water for mosquitoes to breed, and we have situations in our country, as a matter of fact, worldwide, mosquito-borne diseases, rat-borne diseases, and so on. And so white waste collection is part of a bigger program of integrated vector management.
All right. So what we want to get a sense of, and I like the fact that you speak to it, white waste. For those who are not making the connection with exactly what is white waste. But before we even go to that question, we have the schedule on set. Give us a sense for those persons seeing the schedule. What is expected on the day once you see your area listed under a particular period? What are you expected to do? Wait till they get there and then say, hold on, I'm bringing out the ironing board, I'm bringing out the fridge. Is it that you put it on the wayside? What are your directions for persons?
All right. So by the time the truck gets there, the waste is supposed to be outside. So your old fridges, old stoves, galvanized, of course the old ironing board if you have that as well. What we don't want people to put out is construction material at this point in time. That will be maybe for some other kind of thing. But anything that can hold water can be a harborage for any kind of pest or vectors of disease. And we're talking particularly here in terms of your mosquitoes and your rodents and your roaches and so on. Those are the things we're looking at collecting. We want to have the environment really pristine. We are already in a pandemic, and we don't want to have pandemic upon pandemic,
So what I want to go into a little more specifically, I know that you have identified here, white waste would be collected including stove, fridge, galvanized, and other bulky material. Just give us some examples of what some of those other bulky materials might be. Again, because I notice you're saying not construction, not construction material. Yes. So just kind of help persons to make that distinction.
All right. So you may have an old couch set, old washing machine. Those things would be included in that as well. Let me just touch on the construction material. Of course, people want to clean their places up. If they may be doing construction. Now, the facility is there that you can take them to the landfill. You can get someone to do that for you. But the idea of white waste is part of vector management. Not simply to take whatever stuff you don't want, but as part of a bigger program.
All right. And what I'd like you to go into a little bit more again for the benefit of our viewers, the importance of this white waste collection and where do things go to next, so that one makes a distinction. Some may say they may be responsible anyway and just go and bulk it somewhere on the side. Give us a sense so viewers understand the process involved when you actually collect these things and its connection with the landfill and that kind of thing.
Right. So now when white waste is collected, it is taken directly to the landfill where they are placed in cells, compacted, and they're covered. So the environment is really kept in a pristine condition. Now, I must say here, Julian, that one of the challenges we have been having, I want to get to a challenge because white waste has economic value. And so one of the things that has been happening with this campaign especially is that those people who are interested in certain kinds of material, when people put them out, we are finding that they are going and remove them. So one of the things we're finding, especially last week, we're not getting a true sense in terms of the volume of waste. So let's say a person puts out an fridge or a washing machine, they take the shell and just leave the parts inside at the side of the road. So yesterday, folks would have put out stuff down in the Canaan area, and we said, yes, we have a lot of stuff. By this morning, a lot of it is already gone.
What would you say for those who may say that they're helping you all?
Well, yes, they may say that, but remember the thing is, you don't want to create another nuisance, because one of the things that happen is that they may now take them and store them in an inappropriate way and create a nuisance in an environment, in a community, and now it creates a public nuisance for us because they don't get rid of it on time, they don't cover it down and have it, well organized.
So the greater implication there is in terms of moving it from one spot where it is supposed to be collected and go through the process that you would have defined, but rather stocking it in another area to create a similar kind of challenge. Is there some kind of, hotline number or contact? Should I see that situation in my circumstance where I'm residing in my area, and two lots or so down, I see this kind of compiling happening with what appears to be, white waste and so on. How does the public deal with that? Is there any way for the public to assist you as public health officers?
Yes, there is. You can call 639-1433. That's our number at the office. Or I will give you my number. It's 751-4960. Because we are really concerned about the environment. We do have some hot spots in the area that we have in the environment that we have to keep checking all the time. There are some people who just put them out indiscriminately, even outside of the campaign. You can call 639-1433 and we will come to your home.
Yes.
We will come to your residence, and once you put it out, we'll take it up.
So remind us of that number, even outside of the campaign, that persons can call.
Yes, and people have been doing that, 639-1433, or some people like to say 1433.
1433.
The idea is that service is provided and lots of people access it. You do not have to put your stuff outside and have it in the environment. You can call and we will come to your residence and do that, especially if you're a senior citizen. I'm going as far as to say that if you need help, we can even provide that. If you're a senior citizen, not if you're young and strong and have all your muscles working, all right? But we will come and we'll take it up even outside of, because people are always producing waste. Waste has value for some, and waste need to be put out there to clear up the environment. And so public health provides that facility.
So in our Tobago parlance, we can come in and watch no big hardback man and help him to move out stuff. Or for translation for the region and those of you internationally, men who are able bodies will not be looked on at while we move out your stuff. So that we encourage you to put that hand, and I see that the indication is that they bring it out at least a day in advance.
Before, yes.
So in the latter part of this week, where will the collection be taking place directly? Is it the east, is it the west, north side? Where can persons look out for?
All right, so we swept the east side. We are in the southwest and north. And so those areas are going to be targeted. We're in the southwest today especially, and tomorrow. And we're doing every street, every area. There's no area that would not be targeted.
All right, so those persons in the southwest area, and that southwest area would define from Scarborough right down to Crown Point?
All the way down to Crown Point.
Good, so that we encourage those persons to put out their things as early as today.
Plymouth, all those areas. Put them out. They should have been out yesterday.
Good.
One of the challenges as well, people tend to put this stuff out when they see the truck passing.
Well, that's why I asked, because I saw some persons hailing out like the garbage truck.
Oh yes.
You know, I coming out the bag.
Right, so we want Tobago to really change their attitude. In terms of hygiene, sanitation, and the environment. We really want to develop that. So another thing is that this would not be the only one. We want to have at least 4 for the year, 1 per quarter. And so by the end of this year, Tobago must be the best place in the world in terms of sanitation and hygiene.
All right.
So we want people to take responsibility for that. So not just white waste, but even in garbage collection. We want to be able to have people changing the way they think about it. And liaise with us, and let's work together to keep Tobago really clean.
All right, so just remind our viewers again, contact information for those following up on the Islandwide Cleanup campaign, and particularly for those who may be required even outside of this campaign to get assistance with removing white waste.
All right, the number is 639-1433, 639-1433. You can call that number If you have white waste even outside of the campaign, or even if you see something in the environment, even now as we do in the campaign, you can share, you can call that number and you will get some assistance. If not, you can call 639-1433. If that again is 7514960. Now, if there is no answer with that cell number, then you can send a WhatsApp. You can call again because sometimes, we may be in meetings and so on. But call and we will be sure to assist.
I just got a message coming very quickly. Implications, penalties and fines. If persons do not comply in your regular mode of operation as a public health inspector, you observe things, you give your warning and so on. What are some of the implications or penalties and fines that are applied, whether it be to individuals or to institutions and so on, where there may be concerns?
All right. Of course, we serve notices and we can take the matter to court. We have had several matters going before the court. I think one of the things is that we are not like the United States yet, where we could do certain things on the spot. It has to go through the court process, and the magistrate will deal with those things.
Make a determination.
Yes.
All right, thank you very much again there, Ricardo Bobb. Quick reminder to all persons on the southwestern end of the island, as well as those on the north side, you are reminded, this is your opportunity to get your white waste out front, neatly packed, out front to facilitate pickup, not when you hear or see the truck in the area, but get it out front ahead of time. So they're going to be around there this week, so this is your chance to put it out front so that they can work appropriately in this effort of the Islandwide Cleanup campaign. And very appropriate to wrap this segment with the views of Jody Melville, one of our viewers. Mr. Bobb, one of the most humble persons that I ever met. So thank you very much, Ricardo Bobb, Public Health Inspector, sharing some information here with us on the Islandwide Cleanup campaign as it continues here in Tobago. Viewers, we want to remind you to share the live, share the live, share the live.
Good morning, morning.